those of you that were Mandalorian fans prior to The Mandalorian, you guys rock. This is Maliticus Props and Cosplay, and this is actually the first video that I've been meaning to do for a while. I'm going to start a new channel, and that channel is going to be centered completely around props and cosplay because that has been a passion of mine for the last 15 years. Okay, so all that being said, I've got this sweet helmet over here, or pieces of it. If you can see, I don't know if anybody recognizes this. It's actually from a game. It's from Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's an online RPG. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm not a bandwagon Star Wars fan because The Mandalorian came out, and now everybody seems to know what a Mandalorian is and why they're awesome. So, those of you that were Mandalorian fans prior to The Mandalorian, you guys rock. That being said, there are a lot of different types of Mandalorian helmets, and I've been a fan of pretty much all of them, and this is one of them. This is from the Old Republic era, and so this helmet is actually going to have these fangs down here at the bottom, and it's going to have this dome, and then it's also actually going to have a mohawk on the top with ears and all of that. But today, we're going to focus on just getting this helmet put together. This is pretty much fresh off the printer. The only thing that I did at this stage was peel off the brim, and there's actually still a little bit left, so we're gonna have to go in and cut that off. Most important part of today is soldering iron. This is what we're gonna use to actually fuse the helmet together. It's on, and it's on max, so that the fusing happens fast and melts the plastic really quick. I'm sure you guys all know the soldering irons get blazing hot, so please be careful when you're doing this, because this is not its intended purpose, but it works really well. You can also use a wood burner if you have one of those, but I prefer the soldering iron because it has good temperature control and all that kind of stuff. So, all that being said, let's get started. All we're gonna do is shave these little pieces off right here. We now have a helmet, Mandalorian helmet from SWTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like I said, this is definitely one of my favorite Mandalorian helmets. It's gonna be really cool because it's actually gonna have a mohawk right here. It'll have the ears, and then the ears will have some attachments that go on there as well. And then it's also got a cool little light that goes on the side. And yeah, it's gonna be a sick helmet. So from this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go on the inside here, all of the lines. I don't do the entire thing with the soldering iron because if I did, it would be a lot of extra work on the filling and sanding side, and we want to avoid that. So I'll go back in here and I'll use something like this, JB Weld's epoxy, and I will fill in all of the seams with an epoxy, and sometimes I'll even take popsicle sticks and I'll set them over the seam so that I have larger surface area that I'm bonding everything together with, because the last thing you want when you get to the stage of sanding and Bondo, and especially near the end, is to have a crack where a seam is. So some things I've done in the past, I've taken fiberglass resin and filled in the entire inside of the helmet with like a slush coat, and that works really well. I just don't think that it's necessary, and it's a lot of extra work and a lot of extra mess and a lot of extra fumes that you have to deal with, when I just don't think that you have to. So JB Weld's epoxy is great. And then from that point, after that's all cured, what we'll do is take, you can see I use a ton of this, but we'll take Bondo's glazing and spot putty, and we'll go in and we'll fill in all of the large cracks here. And then I will probably go over the dome and some of the side mildly with the glazing and spot putty. And then the best tool that you can use to start finishing this out is actually filler primer. And this is the only one that I like. I do not like Rust-Oleum's filler primer. It does not work well. I love Duplicolors. You can get it at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto, pretty much any auto parts store. And this one is actually the white one that says fills light scratches and sands easily. I prefer the gray, which fills heavy scratches. And normally I'll do 3, 4, 5 coats at a time with a few minutes of dry time in between. It dries really, really fast. And so I'll spray a light coat, let it dry, a few minutes, spray a light coat, let it dry. And the reason I put it on so thick is because there's a lot of striation to cover. So after you get 4 or 5 coats on there, you can go back and you can sand it with somewhere around a 200 grit sandpaper, and most of your work will be done. And you'll still have to go back and do some more glazing and all of that, but at that point you'll be pretty close. And what's really nice about the filler primer is when it comes to details like this, where it's really hard to get glazing and spot putty in there, it'll take care of most of the striation for you. And then you can go in and use, sanding needles or whatever to clean things up. But yeah, that's it, guys. This is a Mandalorian helmet from Star Wars: The Old Republic, one of my favorite games. There's a lot of cool armors in the game, and so I will definitely be doing more. But this helmet has been on my top priority list. This is my model, so if you guys have any interest in the model, please let me know. I can throw it up on Etsy. If not, it is what it is. I will be molding and casting this helmet as soon as I get to it, and then that helmet will be available on Etsy as well. So that's all I've got for you today. This is Maliticus Props and Cosplay. Smash the like button, and we'll see you in the next one.